Hello and welcome to Look Down There, the show where we talk about all the things that we don't talk about. I'm your host, Michelle Lamore. Today, my guest is a consistent innovator of high and lowbrow theater. She has created and directed over 15 shows, including Rites of Spring. She holds many accolades in the world of theater as well as in the world of burlesque, where she holds the titles of Miss Exotic World, Miss Coney Island, and Queen of the Mermaid Parade. Joining us today all the way from London, it's Miss Julie Atlas Muz. Hi,
Hi,
Julie.
Michelle. Oh, that's so sweet of you to say all those nice things about me.
Oh, you
Thanks.
told me to say them.
I know it's true, but still, it's such a it's not an easy time. So hearing nice things is just nice.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just good to be reminded of the things that you've done in your life, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I have accomplished some things. That's good.
especially since I've been doing burlesque since like 1842. So
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, seriously, girl.
Yeah, yeah, time flies, as they say. So, honestly, Julie, you are one of the most fearless performers I have ever seen. I love watching you perform. I miss watching you perform. But tell us a little bit about how you got into this line of work, this kind of fearless, vulva to the wall kind of performance.
Um, well, I moved to New York City in order to be an actor, an experimental actor, an experimental choreographer and dancer. And there was so much rehearsal with so few performances. So I kind of fell into the world of drag a little bit and nightlife and burlesque. And I was like, oh my God, you can be making things and have it be super raw and not so polished and there's this lovely freedom of having very low production value at midnight where you can really take risks that you're not able to take in a beautiful theater at 8 o'clock at night. So that amazing freedom is something that I really treasure about that raucous nightlife stuff. But you said to me like, or you kind of mentioned Michelle. I'm sorry, my husband's doing the dishes. Matt, can you be quiet, please?
Matt.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Matt.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, a little. It's okay.
Thank you. Okay. Um, uh, in terms of being naked, I was thinking a lot about this conversation that we were going to have, and I don't necessarily think of it as being brave or being free. I've used my vagina and my nudity as an armor and almost as a shield, almost as a barrier where I'm like, I'm so tough, I can be naked. I don't have to be vulnerable to you. Look at my vagina, you know? And so I really do feel like I've used my blatant sexuality and my nudity as armor. And when I went to the Whitney Biennial, I was a Whitney Biennial artist, which is like kind of like a pretty fancy deal. And I didn't know what to wear to the Whitney Biennial. So I thought I really didn't know what to wear. I was fucking stressed out because I wanted to appear as an artist. I wanted to appear as something refined and something outrageous and an artiste. So I just took the easiest way out in my mind, which is like I just wore shoes and glitter. And I brought my friends with me to give me sort of bumpers to protect me around me. But it was really very much for me using shock value to sort of keep people at arm's length rather than you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting to use nudity as a shield because for me, I feel I use nudity as a vulnerability, as a way to expose myself and expose my soul, not just my body. But I absolutely see and understand what you're talking about because I think when you come out and you show up someplace and you're naked, people are a little taken aback and maybe they don't want to interact with you or they don't know how to talk to you. So, in that way, you are creating that invisible field.
I'm in the catbird seat. I've made it like I'm in my protected place, a little bit above, a little bit separate, and I'm protected with this shield around me, with this armor. So it's not like Mr. Pussy does, and my vagina and all that is very connected to my inner self, but I think I've used it more. I don't know. Maybe I've abused it more. I haven't treated my womanhood with the tenderness that I should,
Mm.
spank it a little bit. I'm a little rough.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that your artwork, though, is really vulnerable. I mean, I saw what you did with your husband. Was it called Beast and the Beauty?
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Okay, I wasn't
Hmm.
sure how you did that, but I mean, I thought that was a really vulnerable show, and you really put it all out there. I mean, did you feel vulnerable in that experience, or what kind of things make you feel vulnerable?
Oh, I'm not sure. I did not. I didn't really feel vulnerable in Beauty and the Beast because we made that show over a long period of time. To sort of, we made that show, the first visions of that show in disability arts festivals all around the world, so that we could actually just like go to the hotel and so without making the art was an excuse for us to have a little bit of a romantic hideaway getaway. But then we rehearsed it for 8 hours a day for 5 weeks on the set in England, and we got paid for that. So we made it as in a proper way. So I was prepared, and then we workshopped it. So I was prepared. So I was acting vulnerable, and I was showing you my truth and my vulnerability, but I didn't actually feel um, like vulnerable. I didn't feel at risk.
Mm.
It was crafted. When I felt at risk is when I've done like a dance improvisation to like I don't know, and then I go backstage and I give it all my all, and I'm not really prepared, and then I go backstage, I feel like shit, and I start to cry and cry and cry.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah. Well, you do a lot of nude work, and it seems to me anyway that you have a really intense love for your body and all of its parts.
Yes,
Did you always have that, or did you have to kind of come into that?
I was also thinking about this because I have this odd memory of being a young girl in preschool swinging on a swing set without my underwear on, and my mother telling me that it was just fine to have not to wear underwear as a little girl. So I think I was in pre-K playing with no panties on. And I don't know if you've ever like hung out with that. I know you have, Michelle, but like general people, like if you've ever gone skinny dipping or ever not had your panties on and you felt the wind go through your labia, it's a beautiful feeling. It's very fresh and very free. And so I think I just became used to that at a very early age. And I always was naked with my mom and, with my dad. Like, I had no body shame. In Spanish, there's a word, it's called pudor, which is sort of like modesty, but a little bit more. And I don't have that at all. Not even a little bit. I don't have that.
That's so
Um,
great.
yeah. You don't have that either, though, do you?
You know what? I did have it in bits. I definitely didn't grow up like this. I mean, I grew up in a much more conservative home where there was lots of shame surrounding sexuality and nudity. So for me, doing this is like really releasing that and standing in my power. And as far as not wearing underwear and feeling the breeze, like yes, it feels wonderful, but I have to wear underwear because my lips are so pronounced that it's just uncomfortable to walk. So it's
But
like,
you don't have. Okay, go ahead, go
no,
ahead.
I was just gonna say my lips will kiss you back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm so impressed because, like, so when I see your work, and especially some of this beautiful, great online shows that you've been doing since quarantine, Matt and I just love them. Um, you are showing your pussy. You're showing your vagina. Mr. Pussy has like a big handlebar mustache, a hat, and glasses. He's like a vaudeville, like Groucho Marx, like vagina. That's not
Okay,
sexualized.
let's go. Let's talk about Mr. Pussy, okay? Because this is the reason for the season, right?
Okay, this is
So
the reason for the
this is the
season.
reason for the season. So what? Tell me about Mr. Pussy. What? How did he come to be?
Mr. Pussy is my vagina, or I am Mr. Pussy's body. He got born probably right around 2000, right around the turn of the century. And when I was working at Chishama as an arts administrator and also making like dances and being in theater, and I would take my friends and I would maybe not even friends. I would take people and I would grab them by the hand and run them into the bathroom. I would lock the door. I would take down my pants. I would put my shirt over my head, and my vagina would just start yelling at them. Just start yelling at them like, "Ah!" I don't even remember. At that time, I was also running the box office. Chishama at that time is an arts organization, right? And so we were doing a lot of stuff under the table. So I would have to pay certain people under the table. So I would put their money in cash, like all over, like in my panties. And I'd be like, you want to get paid? So then I would take them into my office, which was the bathroom. And I would put my pants down, like put my shirt up, and then like have like their $300 in my underwear, and just yell at them, and kind of in a mad way. That was kind of developing. And then George Bush George W. got reelected. And that was the last time that I shaved my pubic hair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
So
long, long time
you're
ago.
still rocking the bush like hardcore.
Yeah, because that's Mr. Pussy.
Yeah.
So,
The
I
bush
mean,
is
Mr.
pretty new for me right now. Like I'm enjoying my pandemic bush era. So
I think
your
it's
bush is like the most impressive bush I've ever seen in my life. But go ahead.
Well, and then Taylor Mack was doing a show called Patriot Act for like right around the time that Bush got elected, and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shave my pussy on the American flag to John Lennon's Imagine, and that was the last time that I shaved everything all around it. And I was like, I'm not going to shave my pussy until George W. Bush gets out of office. Like the brat that I am, right? Just like a shitty, bratty girl. So then my hair started getting so long, I realized I could like take people into the bathroom and yell at them with my vagina. Just pure rage. But longer and longer. And then I realized that it could turn into a mustache. And then I put a hat on it. And then I realized that Mr. Pussy sings songs of freedom, only songs of freedom. And yeah, he has a lot of gigs now. He is a alter ego of mine, so he gets booked in conjunction with me sometimes and sometimes separately from me, and he lip syncs to larger than life videos of him with video commentary, music videos behind. There's a little spotlight like right on my pussy, like right there. There's a little spotlight, and I lip sync to him. So "Hair" is one of his songs. The first time he ever performed uh, in that style was at a gay pride show, and I thought to myself, He sang "This Land Is Your Land." And I had my Uncle Sam hat on, and I put a little bit of powder in his hair so you have a little bit of gray. And there's this giant vagina with 800 gay men looking at it. And I thought I was like, this is feminist awesomeness. And all these gays were just horrified, like literally gagging. Like they were like, oh, at the sight of my vagina. So it's complicated. It
Yeah, that's something.
was a mistake, Michelle. It was a big mistake.
I love it, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's you. That is, I mean, that was Mr. Pussy, but yeah.
But when I see your vagina, it's sexy. Like I want it to kiss me back.
Oh yeah, it
It's
will.
it's gorgeous. It's like so ruffly. It's like that's where ruffles come from, right? Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's taken me some time to love it, right? Because I thought it had to look a certain way. And
mm.
it definitely, didn't look like the vulvas that I had seen, which weren't very many. Um, just stuff in Playboy. And then yours. No, seriously though.
Yeah, and
You
he's
could
very
like
tucked
nap
up.
in that bush. You can just like
Girl. Like I can I can braid it and like a flood, like I've got so much hair, so much. I mean, I trim around, and I did just do another pussy show, Little Girl from Chernobyl, for that birthday party. And I did shave it up there. I do like, Matt likes it preferably like a little neater than Mr. Pussy does. So I do like braid it, and I have to clip my hair if he's gonna like take some time and munch the rug. If it's just a quickie, I won't do it. But if it's like love time, then
yeah, yeah.
I'll clip him back.
You got it. So you got to like put it up in a man bun, essentially.
Yes, I got to put it up in a man, but two, one on each side. And then sometimes you do that like a hair pulls, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah. So
I recommend growing it out.
yeah, I like it. I like it. So Mr. Pussy's not really affected by the pandemic. He's still working and out there.
Well, not as much as he'd like to, just like all of us. We all have to adapt for the pandemic. But yeah, he's always got something up his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
He just has something up his sleeve right now, and there's some stuff dripping out.
Okay, well, that was my next question. What if you have a performance scheduled and your time of the month is happening?
If I have to suffer with it, then the audience has to suffer with it too.
Oh,
That's how I that's how I deal with it. That's how I deal with it, Michelle. I really do. I feel like if there's gonna be spunk and blood on the glow stick, I try and like make sure that it's clean, and for health reasons, I try and make sure that everything's, healthy. But a little bit of blood, I come from the school that I admired the early works of Ron Athey, and I admired the early works of a lot of, performance artists that were dealing with blood as a toxic substance in the aftermath of, the first AIDS wave. So a little bit of blood in reality. Again, it's not an 8 o'clock show where the audience is sitting down sober. It's in a dangerous environment. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm not. Excuse me. He doesn't care. But he's going to go through the change soon. Like he's going to go through menopause, I think, in like the next 5 years. And that's something that I'm very curious about. And some of my friends have also gone through menopause. I'm 47 right now, and he's 47 right now. So I wonder, like, that it's taken me so long to really accept my body as, a woman, the matron woman. So now I'm approaching the hag era of my life biologically. I wish I had appreciated my body just a little bit earlier, or like accepted my body just a little bit earlier. But when am I not racked with regret, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're you are an example to all of us for self-love, body love, and expression. And I'm so sad that I've never seen Mr. Pussy in real life. I've seen you make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with your pussy, um, but that's
Peanut
it.
butter, peanut butter,
Only peanut butter, no jelly. Okay.
only peanut butter, no jelly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing where I'm just like, wow, here I am again. And I feel like it's just when you end up adding like a pussy trick to comedy or to whatever, it takes the vagina from being, let me just back up for a second. I think that sex is simultaneously the most sacred and sexy and the silliest thing that we can do at the same time. And there is a naivete and a childlike wonder where with Mr. Pussy's character and also making peanut butter sandwiches on my vagina, there's something so utterly juvenile about it that it's not sexy anymore. It's sweet and it's such childlike. When Mr. Pussy, he had a fancy art show in New York City. Camille and James Habacker, the owners of the Slipper Room, brought their very young children at the time to come and see Womanizer, the show at the Deitch Galleries. And Mr. Pussy had these 12 by 24 inch Polaroids of close-ups of his face. And little Veronica, she was like 6 or 7 at the time, she pointed at them and she said, "Look, Mama, it's a hoo-hoo." And so the little girl understood, like deeply understood the game that I'm playing with my vagina, because she plays that same game with hers. And I think that that's a quality to, to something that it's like potty humor. I just fall right into it. Blah, blah.
So, what does the future hold for Mr. Pussy or for you? Now that Trump's out of office, presumably, um, what are we going to see? What's the Bush style? How are you going to celebrate?
I don't know, man. That's a very, very good question. Maybe I'm not going to diet because I'm not that labor intensive. I don't know, maybe I'll keep it growing on. Like, I really feel like whenever I'm backstage or whenever I'm go-go dancing and anyone sees my bush, there's always this sort of like take back of like, whoa, that's pubic hair. And pubic hair is so rare these days. And I find that shaved vaginas are very babyish, like a little girl, almost pedophilia, like a woman's baby vagina. And I'm actually a woman, and I appreciate hair. Like I'm hairy. I'm a woman, so I think I'm probably going to keep the hair, much to Matt's dismay, much to my husband's dismay. And I don't know. I think he'll sing some more songs of freedom. It's so funny. I was walking in the supermarket the other day, and Mr. Pussy sings "Deck the Halls," and that was just playing in the supermarket. And I just started weeping.
Oh,
My vagina sings this song at Christmas.
oh, yeah. It's real easy to cry these days.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. I don't know what the future holds for Mr. Pussy. He's still going to have a job wherever. If there's a video player and I'm feeling lazy, I'll just grab a hat and we'll go.
Can people find it online? Can people? No. Unsearchable.
He's unsearchable. He is not online at all. I didn't feel comfortable with having other people being able to like screenshot my vagina or screenshot Juicy Hardcore. Like, I don't want someone having a fucking screenshot of me making a peanut butter sandwich on my vagina.
So Juicy Hardcore does that.
Yeah, Juicy Hardcore does that.
Okay.
Juicy Hardcore does Careless Whisper. And Juicy Hardcore is online. She has done a show and she's thinking about doing another show as well. But I don't know if she's going to do any pussy tricks online. I feel like if it's going to be shared, live performance is shared in a community of people, and they have that communal memory. Everyone's in a room. But when you're doing live performance, or when you're doing performance for one person viewing it by themselves, that's a different relationship to your audience. And I don't quite know how to navigate that when I'm showing my pussy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely understand. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I just want to say, like, just to show something vulnerable, like, I'm not an easy comer. Like, it's not easy for me to come. And I wonder if, like, tucked up little pussies, if it's harder for us to come.
If what kind of
I always
pussies?
wondered that. Tucked up little
Oh, I
pussies.
see.
If it
I
was like,
see. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't
All
know.
right. Well, I'll ask you one more question before we go.
Okay. hmm
I want to get the scoop on your other character, Miss Bukkake. What is happening? Because
Ms.
I remember
Bukkake.
when you were just coming up with this character, Miss Bukkake, and we were in New York and we were sitting outside at a cafe or something, and you were talking about this big penis puppet that you were going to have that was going to shoot semen out the top, and you were going to tap dance, and you got up at the table and you started tap dancing. um, so I want to know, how's Miss Bukkake?
Ms. Bukkake is great. She has also traveled the world. She is an 8 foot tap dancing penis. And she's made out of a giant spring that I can just fit in, and a very, very heavy head. And the balls are also quite heavy. So Ms. Boo right now is in a suitcase and a giant container in New York. I have brought her to London in the past where she has performed. She has performed to Here Comes Santa Claus, Here Comes Santa Claus, Here Comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. She's also performed often, her normal number is to Nirvana's Rape Me, of course.
Of course.
And she starts off real soft, and then she gets tumescent. And when she comes, there's a mechanism inside where, boing, those
Yeah, like
peanuts,
the snake in a can kind of things. Yeah. Hmm.
4 snakes in the can come out. So it's come, 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 come. And then the audience gets squirted in the face with a hot water gun. So hot water gun. So the audience gets it right when she comes at the end of Rate Me. Um, so yeah, Miss Boo was made when I was jealous. So much is made when I'm jealous of other people's numbers. I was jealous that Rose Wood had a big shit, and she had a big asshole on stage, and then she did a shit. And then Narcissus Sister has ass vag, where she's got a giant, beautiful vagina it's just so fucking great. Narcissus Sister's ass vag is barills. And then I just thought I should have a penis. So that's why Ms. Boo was born.
I like it. I like it. Yeah. Sometimes, that creative energy has to come from somewhere. I do create a lot from anger. That's why I created this show out of anger. So I like to do
Sure.
something good. I like to do something good with anger. And I think Miss Bukkake is definitely something good.
She makes a lot of people laugh. She makes a lot of people laugh. And I'll tell you this, like, as a puppet, like Mr. Pussy, he's articulate. He can yell at you. He can have a conversation. He can sing a song. He can hold a room. Ms. Boo is blind. She can't really hear very well. I do not know which way I'm facing. She's very, very heavy, but she's super happy. She's just dumb, blind, and happy. Like Cox, right? Like, I think at
Is
least.
she blind because she masturbated too much? Is that what happened?
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
I can't blame her. Well, Julie, thank you so much for joining me today. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I admire and I respect you and I love you as an artist and as a person so very much, Michelle. I love the this initiating energy that you're always pushing, you're always making. I see you channeling your rage into such productive and beautiful things. And I think that what you've been doing during this entire quarantine, I know that my husband and I have, we've really appreciated all of your shows and we've watched, I think most of them. And I don't know, I just think that you're the bomb. I'm so honored to be a Miss Exotic World just like you.
Oh, Julie, I love you so much. And I love your husband too. And I can't wait
I love your husband.
to see each other again. Okay, so to learn more about Julie, please check out julieatlasmuse.com. It's spelled MUZ.com. And you can like and follow and share us at I Look Down There on Instagram or lookdownthere.com. And you can follow me at Michelle Lamore on Instagram as well. And I have a new class coming up on January 9th. It's an 8-week session called Pussy Confidence. So I hope that you will join me for that. Session starts January 9th. Visit michellemore.com/PC. And finally, I'm reminding you to grab a mirror and look down there.